Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing some short-term strength again, has not really come down yet. Now that could mean that we're consolidating on a very high level in an ongoing wave 4 correction, as you can also see here on the daily chart. Some kind of a wave 4, which might just send us further, let's say, sideways for a while before we continue the pathway to the upside. Or Bitcoin might already be on this in this fifth wave to the upside that we've been watching on the 1 hour time frame. So we're going to take a look at the 1 hour chart in a minute. However, here on the daily chart, really nothing changes, nothing has changed, and Bitcoin has for a long time now been following this proposed not micro count, actually this proposed roadmap of a bullish pathway to the upside into the direction of all-time highs. And yeah, it's just best to just go with the trend. I say that all the time. I think there are still people out there who are calling for 12k BTC or so. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point, but at the moment there is absolutely no sign that we even get close to micro support levels. I always, I never understand how someone can be, let's say, bearish if all support levels are holding and Bitcoin is even above micro support. I always tend to let the price tell me first what's going on by at least break micro support. Okay, so it's very simple. It's actually very simple. It's what traders should do all the time. Just go with the trend. Okay, go with the trend and understand when the trend is breaking. And it's very clear the trend is up, and this structure here on the chart continues to unfold. If anything changes, then our pivots, our Fibonacci support levels, or even resistances will tell us that something different is going on. At the moment, the price is holding above this yellow support area, and I've mentioned many times, really on the daily chart here, nothing really changes until the price breaks below 35,000. Yeah, the structure of the fourth wave might change, sure, but that doesn't really affect this scenario. The current idea is that the yellow box here was or is the support region for a fourth wave pullback. Now, if the fourth wave already is over, or if we come back into the yellow support area, that will be decided on the 1 hour chart. But even if that happens, it would not really impact the daily chart, okay? I always say this is just noise. Yeah, it's a pretty huge range because Bitcoin already reacted to our trend reversal area and rallied, I don't know, how much was it? From the low point there, like 36%, right? That is quite substantial, but that is nothing unusual in crypto. Remember also this correction was around about 25%. So you get these movements, and if the risk of a potential drawdown is too high for you, then you might want to consider taking some profits at some point. But in this market, I would not be an all-in, all-out person. So I would always only add positions in support regions step by step, sell positions step by step in resistances, but always keep a core position and basically not be an all-in, all-out person, but instead scale into support, scale out in resistance. Because if you don't do that and you're an all-in, all-out person, you get rid of all your BTC. And yeah, it could just go much higher, right? So that's sort of the idea here at the moment, that this is a scenario in which wave 4 likely is finished. I mean, that's currently the primary scenario. But to be honest, if the orange subwave structure is working out, and this was simply a high B wave in the wave 4, yeah, then we will come down again. And to be honest, the wave 4 would still be unfolding. Is it a problem? Not for the daily chart scenario, as long as we don't break below 35k, and 37,885 would be additional support, as well as 41,809. And if we lose micro support on the 1 hour chart, then it's likely that we're going to either form here some kind of a triangle pattern, which will be with us for a while, maybe until the halving, or it is likely that we are forming here this flat structure and then go up, right? And I don't need to change my perspective here, which is bullish and has been bullish for a long time, until we break below 35k. Now, looking at the 1 hour time frame, this is where we would get an early warning. Okay, you also see here the orange count and the white count. You see that the wave 4 is marked as complete on the 23rd of January. If the wave 4 is still unfolding, then, I don't want to guess that it's still unfolding. I need to see some evidence. When would I get evidence? Well, I would get the first indication for it or confirmation with the break below 47K. This is micro support and has been micro support since we've struck that high on Thursday. So it's already been half a week, pretty much. So the idea is that we are bullish here and follow the white count. But as I said, the orange count is a possibility. In the white count and orange count at the moment, the support level is 47K. That's for me the line in the sand. And as I showed you on the daily time frame, that really anything above 35K is really just noise between the recent top and 35K. Here it's like everything between the current top or the last top and the 47K level is just noise on this time frame, and basically anything could happen here. And only below 47K, I would assume that we are coming back into the yellow box and we would go with the orange count, whereas the white count, which is currently preferred, I'm leaning bullish as long as we are above support. Above that level, obviously we would be watching just for higher prices. And really, you don't need to worry about the noise unless you really deal with the, 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Okay, so this is that perspective that at least one more high should actually ideally form in this white wave 3. Then we should get another 4 and another 5 and get maybe towards 54 to 58K. Okay, do we go any lower in this current correction? That's what we can determine by looking at the shorter time frame count. Zoom in a little bit. Do we need to go any lower? Well, absolutely not. Remember what I said to you in the last video. The longer this is going on as a sideways correction, probably the better for altcoins. But yeah, it doesn't really matter from an analysis point of view. If we go down and hold 47K, everything remains the same, okay? But on the smallest time frames here, I mean, it's possible that Bitcoin formed already a 5-wave move to the upside from this swing low here on Saturday. This is not clear enough for me. It would have to be a leading diagonal, could simply be a high B wave. The Fibonacci levels don't really work well in this structure, which is why I'm, to be honest, leaning towards a high B wave still. And I say, okay, the wave 4 is likely not finished. In an alternative perspective, yes. And if the next pullback is a higher low, it could be the jump off point for completing that third wave there in white to possibly 54, 55K. But it's an ascending wedge pattern, and if we see a break to the downside, it's worth watching. Can we actually hold this key level down there, which is at 50,680? Because this would be the invalidation point for direct upside further, and would rather confirm, if broken, that the C wave to the downside of this wave 4 is unfolding. A breakout to the upside above the green line will likely indicate that we're going up more directly, okay, in a third wave. So again, this is just microstructure. I can give you 10 wave counts for this. I would say don't be too interested in the nanostructure, microstructure. Just watch 47K and the breakout point. This really matters. Breakout point 52,000, yeah, 830, 850, depending on the exchange. If we get a sustained breakup, then yeah, we are likely moving towards 54, 55K more directly. But essentially, this here could turn into some kind of a triangle. As I said, the 5-wave move up, I'm noticing it, but it would have to be a diagonal, and you can even count it as a WXY, probably even better as a corrective pattern, yeah, which is why I'm still leaning towards the C wave, or at least that this correction is still unfolding, maybe as a triangle. There are many ways this correction can unfold. It can morph into an overall WXY, can morph into a triangle. There are more than 10 corrective patterns, so be aware that there will be many adjustments on the smallest time frame, but all of that should not impact our pivot region, our support range. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.